Thank you for listening. My name is Irena Stojmirovic. I'm a physics and astronomy professor and physical sciences department co-chair here at Mesa College. This year, our contract and RAF will be negotiated, and surveys will also be sent by AFT asking you what your priorities are in these negotiations. This video is meant to bring awareness on the faculty salary issues, and I was asked by the Academic Senate here at Mesa to make this video. So the data that I will be presenting here is available online, and if you go to cft.org, this is the website for the Union of Educators and Classified Professionals. You can find these studies that they release every year, starting with 2017. And in these studies, they compare salaries of faculty salaries in 72 community college districts in California. So the last report was released this summer, and I pulled all the data from here, from our college, and that data is represented in this table. So starting with 2017, if you were hired by our district with master's degree and no teaching experience, your salary placement would be ranked as 36 out of 72 in California, which means we were somewhere like in the middle of the compensation in the state, and maybe that is okay. If you were hired at that time with 5 years of experience, you would be in the lower bottom of the compensation at the number 55 out of 72. As you're looking over here, you can see a clear trend of our ranking going down or degrading from year to year. And this summer, when the report was released, you can see now that we are at the very bottom of the compensation scale for the state of California, for the community colleges. So if you're now hired with master's degree, 5 years of teaching experience, you are now 69th out of 72. So at the very, very bottom of the state. So there is a probably question why we are continuously becoming less and less competitive and in terms of faculty salaries, and what issues, if any, this is causing to our departments. And so I'm here to talk about multiple issues that this is causing at my departments, and we think that we are entering some crisis mode where we cannot really attract and retain faculty, and we fear for the future of our department. So what does it mean that we are at the very bottom of compensation scale for California? That means that our faculties with master's degrees are starting with $69,000 per year. So this is low starting salary for California, but also if we look at the living wage that our district defined for anyone being hired by our district with high school diploma and no experience, that living wage is defined by the district to be $64,000. So that means that anybody doing 40 hours of work in our district will not be paid less than $64,000. As a union member, it makes me proud that we have this living wage defined, and that we are able to afford this compensation to anybody, I guess, who comes with high school diploma and no experience working for our district. But I'm very disappointed that the compensations that we afford to master's faculty with many years of teaching experience are marginally higher than living wage or the minimum wage that we pay in the district. So I will tell you a story of Joseph Martinez, who was one of those faculties that we hired and paid $69,000. He also happened to be our first and only tenure-track Hispanic physics faculty, and he spent 2 years at Mesa College, and within those 2 years, his rent went more up than his salary went. After first year, he had to downsize from 2-bedroom to 1-bedroom apartment, and then this year he considered downsizing to the studio, but then they also found out that they're expecting a baby, so he opted to look for another jobs outside of our district, and he was able to get a job at Sheffield College, and that job, the same job, physics community college faculty, that job at Sheffield College is paying him $37,000 more than his job at Mesa College, and that is more than 50% higher salary than what he has here, and it is coming with the same healthcare benefits where he has fully paid health insurance and no higher copays for pregnancy, delivery, and so forth than he would here at San Diego Community College District. Losing Joseph was a tremendous loss for my department. We loved him. We all really appreciated having him. He had great energy, always present in his office, helping students, innovative way of teaching physics, mastery grading. We consider him to be a great asset for the department, very open to feedback, very easy to work with, high student evaluations, and many initiatives that he took, for example, starting the STEM book club so that he can meet with students outside of classroom and build this community of STEM learners. We consider this to be a tremendous blow to us, to my department, for losing Joseph Martinez. But Joseph is not the only faculty that we hired and pay $69,000. There is another faculty we hired in the last year, that is Professor Walter Thompson. He has a master's degree in astrophysics from Johns Hopkins University, and before he came to Mesa, he had 17 years of experience as a full-time community college professor, department chair, honors program coordinator, observatory director, etc. We certainly, during the hiring process, interviewing process, were impressed with his credentials. And we were so happy when he accepted this job and accepted this compensation of $69,000. That salary is about 10% lower than his previous position in Houston, while cost of living in San Diego is about 60% higher. We were able to get Walter because he moved with his family to San Diego for his wife's biotech job. The same way, we got lucky in hiring Professor Ashley Manningberg, who is Mesa's first female geology professor, and she brings 5 years of experience as a full-time university professor, many more years of teaching experience, and also like affiliations to many prestigious geology organizations throughout the United States. She moved from Tennessee, where cost of living was 64% lower, and she started at a very low salary of $88,000 and should have started at much higher salary to have an equivalent salary in San Diego to what she had in Tennessee. She also moved to San Diego to be closer to her husband, who is a geology professor at community college in Orange County. At the same time when Mesa was hiring a geology professor, City College was hiring a geology professor, but her husband couldn't even consider applying for that job because accepting that job would mean that he would take a $40,000 pay cut or even more for doing the same job at City College that he does at the community college in Orange County. It is not only that the fact that we do not take experience into account when we are placing people on the salary scales and that our salaries are low. It is not only affecting, I think, the newly hired faculty, but it's also the current salaries are affecting people that are more seasoned like me. Let's say I've been in the district for 10 years as a full-time faculty, and if I was to apply now to Palomar College and get a job and accept a job, they can start me as high as step 8 routinely, but maybe even as step 12. If I was to start at Palomar at step 8, my starting salary at Palomar would be higher than my salary here at Mesa after 10 years of being a full-time faculty. So overall, the salaries, as the report says, are pretty low, kind of as low as they can be, and they affect all of us. Doesn't matter that if we are hired now or we've been hired 10 years ago. So how is this affecting my department? For years now, we really have a low number applicant pools. Very few people apply for our jobs. And we mostly hire faculty, as you can see, who come to San Diego for family reasons. Then even when we hire faculty, we lose them really fast, and that reduced diversity among faculty is really impacting representation and inclusivity. We feel that we have reached the brink of crisis, and if this continues, this will only serve to further homogenize the faculty body, or even have no faculty at all, or just have faculty that are closer to the retirement than to any meaningful beginning. This increased faculty turnover is disrupting student learning and program continuity. We have to hire a lot of new adjuncts, sometimes straight from grad schools, and we don't know what they are bringing into the classrooms. We also fear that all of this will diminish reputation and competitiveness of our STEM programs, which have great reputation, not just in San Diego, but like beyond the boundaries of our district and our region. We also, as a department chair, I can see the faculty burnout. All of us are serving on multiple hiring committees. We are mentoring new contract faculty just to see them leave very quickly. We are hiring a lot of new adjuncts, and that means additional mentoring and evaluations. Because the salaries are so low across the scale, everybody is teaching overload, and that puts faculty at working 50 hours or more every week. And many faculty also take summer assignments so that they can, make somewhat meaningful wages. In many cases, people with master's degree will be chasing professional development to move from one class to another class, and that often means taking loans to pay external companies for courses that are not really meaningful. So we think that this year, you should take some time and think what are the priorities that you see and that you should advocate for with the AFT. To summarize maybe what I was saying, I think we are due for the reevaluation and adjustment of the faculty salary scale. We should make sure that our salaries for contract faculty reflect state standards, that we are not 69 out of 72, but that we can maybe go back to being like mid-state for compensations. That would mean also taking into the account San Diego cost of living. We should definitely consider implementing credit for prior experience. Faculty that I met with did some research. We could not find another district in California who does not give credit for prior experience, who starts everybody at the same step. We were not able to find that. So let's recognize and compensate prior teaching and industry experience in salary placements. And finally, faculty would like to see more steps in each salary column or class. That way, faculty can focus on teaching and student engagement rather than chasing professional development through coursework offered by external companies. Thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you advocate for your profession, for your departments, for your faculty. Have a good semester.